Okay, okay, okay. Stop what you're doing right now. Now. Because if you're a Leo Stark fan, and honestly, how could you not be? What's coming up on Days of Our Lives is going to absolutely wreck you. In the best possible way, I'm talking full-on emotional devastation wrapped in a velvet bow. You ready? Let's go. So here's what we know. DOOL spoilers are confirming that Leo Stark, played by the absolutely irreplaceable Greg Ricart, and Dimitri von Leuschner, that's Peter Port, people, keep up, are about to have a genuinely vulnerable, raw, open conversation about their fears for the future. Like, actual feelings from Leo Stark. I know. And on top of that, they're heading back to Vivian Alamain's home together. Louise Sorel's Vivian. By the way, which more on that in a second. Because that detail is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Spoilers are also teasing that some great news is on the horizon for this duo. Which, honestly, they deserve it. They've been through the ringer. That's the what. But here's where I want to dig in. Because the why is so much more interesting. Let's talk about Leo Stark for a second. Because Leo has always been this brilliant, chaotic, self-protective tornado of a character. His armor is sarcasm. His shield is humor. Greg Ricart plays him with this incredible undercurrent of loneliness that he almost never lets break the surface. Almost the fact that Leo is opening up, genuinely opening up about his fears, that is a massive character moment. Because we have seen what happens when Leo lets his guard down before. We've watched him fall hard, get burned, get humiliated, pick himself back up with a devastating one-liner and act like it didn't destroy him. But it did. It always does. So when spoilers say he and Dimitri are becoming confidantes, I don't take that lightly. That word confidant is doing serious emotional work here. Now Dimitri. Here's the thing about Dimitri von Leuschner that I think a lot of people sleep on. He came into this show as a schemer, a manipulator operating in Vivian's shadow, with an agenda stitched into every single smile. But the writers have been slowly, carefully peeling that back. And what we're finding underneath is someone who is also deeply uncertain about who he is outside of the role he was born into. Two men, both performers in their own ways, both wearing masks they've worn so long they've almost forgotten what's underneath, and now they're taking the masks off. Together, now let's talk about the elephant, or should I say, the magnificent, scheming, fur coat wearing elephant in the room. Vivian Alamain. Going back to Vivian's home is not just a logistical plot point. It is a psychological return to the source. Vivian has always been both a sanctuary and a cage for Dimitri. She is his origin story, his enabler, and in many ways, his greatest obstacle to genuine human connection, all wrapped up in Louise Sorel's absolutely iconic delivery. Think back to how Vivian has historically operated in Salem. This is a woman who literally had Carly Manning buried alive, who has weaponized love and loyalty as tools of control for decades. Her home is beautiful and dangerous in equal measure. The fact that Leo and Dimitri are walking back into that environment together after this moment of real emotional vulnerability feels like the show is deliberately setting up a test. Can what they've built survive Vivian's orbit? I've seen this pattern before in DOOL's writing. When two characters form a genuine bond right before re-entering a toxic environment, it's usually a setup. The writers are giving us something to root for precisely so they can threaten it. Classic soap opera architecture. Cliffhanger fuel. Basically, here's my theory and I will die on this hill. The great news that spoilers are teasing for Leo and Dimitri is going to come with strings attached. It always does in Salem. Always. My best guess. The good news involves some kind of security, financial, legal, or relational that seems to solve their problems. But given that it's connected to Vivian's world, there will be a catch buried in the fine print. There always is with Vivian. What I'm hoping for, what I think the show OWES, these two characters, is a genuine, sustained arc of growth. Not just a plot twist that uses their bond as a dramatic device. but an actual story about two complicated, funny, flawed men choosing each other in a real way. Leo Stark has been a legacy character in the making for years now. He deserves a love story that sticks. Let's be real for a second. Greg Ricart and Peter Porte have chemistry that the show would be absolutely wild to waste. The comedic timing, the dramatic range, the way they balance each other's energy, you cannot manufacture that. You build around it. So here's where I land on all of this. I am cautiously, nervously, excitedly optimistic about what's coming for Leo and Dimitri. The emotional groundwork is there. The history is there.